Hey, I'm super excited for today. So what I want this to be today is really interactive with kind of what I'm going through. If there's some extra questions on the side, please let me know. I'm going to be like watching the comment the entire time and just, super excited to hear just any questions that you guys have. If there's issues at all with the broadcast, I am so sorry. My internet has been cutting in and out a bunch in my new office. And so I'm working on it. Trying to do the best that we can here. So again, let me know if you have any questions on the side here. I'm going to be going through a few things that I think are really interesting, some things that we've been seeing working really well at the agency. And again, the great thing about having the agency is, we get to see a lot of different brands, right? And we get to see what works and what doesn't. And that's why I love sharing this stuff, just because we can clearly see. A couple of things I actually want to bring up before I bring out the slideshow today. Before, I just have some slides to kind of keep me on track, as you guys know, if you've ever been a part of anything I do. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up that I just posted about that I think is super interesting is this idea of social search taking over. And I think that we've all kind of seen it, and we might know a little bit about what's going on. But I think at the end of the day, social search is massive. I mean, I think it was like 2 years ago that TikTok took over as the most searched search engine in North America, which is just crazy. So when I'm thinking about all of what we're trying to do here is to gamify social search at the end of the day. I'm actually building a tool in the background right now that's trying to help us at the agency actually figure out how we start ranking for certain search terms. Again, it's really difficult because we don't have all the data that's out there, but I think it's really interesting. So I just wanted to throw that out there and kind of have that as our basis for what we're talking about today, because I think it's really interesting. So I'm going to get to some slides here. Just give me 1 second here. And please, in the comments, I've got the comments open on the side here. Please let me know in the comments if you guys have questions as we go along. Today's going to be pretty practical and tactical, getting into things to do with building your creator community. I think that's a really big part. That's something that I've had a lot of questions on. It's funny, I actually wasn't able to, I had this weird internet issue. I wasn't able to get together that slide, but I want to talk specifically about how to build a creator community, when to build a creator community. Pairing it along with the Blitz strategy, I think is really important. And looking forward to getting into it. So again, guys, make sure in the live chat, just let me know if you guys have any questions. We're going to be going for about half an hour today. Yes, I am super pumped. So let's get into it here. All right. Awesome. So again, you guys know me. I've come from direct to consumer, and I think that really shows a lot of the way that I'm still looking at TikTok Shop is through a direct to consumer lens, right? And through this idea that TikTok Shop still, in my mind, is the #1 demand generation channel that I have found and that I've seen for brands. And it's wild the amount of brands that I have seen recently that are going absolutely all in on this top of funnel. Now, what I used to say, right, is like, hey, just go ahead. You can kind of dip your toes in. I no longer think that if you were going to go in on TikTok Shop, you really need to go all in. And at the end of the day, what it comes down to, and what I'm trying to figure out here to help everybody with, is building these muscles that actually help our brand on TikTok Shop, but then beyond. Now, some interesting things that came up the other day. I don't know if you guys saw or anyone got the message that Facebook right now, Meta is deprecating their checkout on Meta, which is really interesting for social commerce. So now everything is going to happen at the brand's website, which means I don't know when Meta is going to, maybe they're making a really big pivot in a different sort of way. I don't exactly know what that means, but I just wanted to bring it up for you guys because I think it's really interesting as all of this happens and as we as we start going getting into the future. Right now, TikTok Shop is still the #1 channel for social commerce. So AJ has an interesting question. The same is happening with TikTok too, as they're pushing everything into GMV Max campaigns. So that's a little bit different. So GMV Max on TikTok Shop, we still have the checkout on and within TikTok Shop. Now, what Meta has done is pushed all of the checkout over onto the website. So I don't know if that's like a data issue, if they're somehow trying to marry all of the data like that. Shops will still exist on Instagram and Facebook, right? But the checkout is going to happen on Shopify or whatever the third-party checkout is. And I don't know what all the integrations that they have are, but it's a very, very interesting thing to sort of keep in mind. Now, social search. I just want to talk about social search one more time because I think that's a really interesting topic of conversation. Just let me have a little coffee here. By the way, I don't know if any of you guys have moved lately. This is my first time moving in 11 years. Oh my gosh. I'm 39 and I don't know if I can handle another anytime soon. So hopefully that won't be in the future. But yes, this is being recorded. Yeah, absolutely. We'll make sure to get a recording out to anyone who was on the event, and then within school as well. Within the school group, we'll make sure to throw the recording in there. Usually I'm able to get them done, or my assistant is able to get them done by the end of the day. Yes, absolutely. So social search, something really interesting that I found that I just posted about was a brand came and worked with us last July is when they started. And I think it was actually really, truly like last August now. That they started with us. And they had 0 searches on TikTok for, like, it wasn't showing up at all. Lo and behold, about 6 months later in December, we ran a report and there was 873,000 searches in the previous 2 weeks. Now it's well over like in the millions every single month. These are social searches happening right within TikTok. Now, something I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to build a tool that actually looks at all of that and actually gathers all of that data. It's very difficult to find, but I think we're going to be able to do it. And I think it's really interesting because so much of the search volume is happening over there. And you're probably wondering, okay, what does this all have to, like, how does this all work? The way that all of this works together is that TikTok creators are really the ones that are going to get you there, right? So recently, moving into a new house, we really wanted to buy a couch, right? So you do all of this different searching. Well, as we were doing this searching, right, I realized more and more that I was doing all of my searching on TikTok because I wanted to actually see what real people had to say about it. And the amount of affiliate content that I went on, it was for a Canadian brand called cozy.ca. Highly recommend. But the amount of affiliate content and paid content that I was going through was insane. And as I was going through, and again, these are branded searches, right? Which is still very interesting to me because those definitely play a role within the funnel. But these were all creator videos that I was watching. I did not watch a single video from the brand itself. All that I was watching were videos from the were from creators. I just want to make sure, guys, do you guys still have me there? I had a weird internet blip there. Can I just have one person? Can I just have one person? Yeah, we're good now? Yeah, perfect. Sorry, guys. Don't worry, this will be worthwhile. I appreciate it. I was freaking out before. I was like, I don't know what's going on with my internet here. We'll be good. Okay, let's talk and walk through a little bit of this here. So, number one today, I want to talk about identifying winning creators, right? And who those creators are. I want to talk about how that fits into the Blitz strategy, because I think that's really important for how this all fits into the Blitz strategy. Then I want to talk about cultivating and building up your creator community, what to do with your creator community. I think that's really important. I get this question all the time from people like, hey, how do I actually build a thriving creator community? Now, if you guys don't know me from, the last, 10 years in ecom, I really, really, truly believe in building communities. And whether those are, brand communities for your customers, whether those are affiliate, whether those are like your, building out your affiliate army, whatever that looks like, I really, truly think that building creator communities is where the ball is going and kind of where it has also been. And so this is really, really important. So I want to talk about those three sort of things today. Let's just go through. Oh, I don't need this slide for this group here. All right. And just in case there is anyone on here, if you guys want, if you have not yet signed up for a TikTok shop, which there could potentially be a few of you there, I do have a special link. Just DM me on LinkedIn or on Twitter, and I've got a special link that gives you a bunch of goodies from TikTok. So I've teamed up with TikTok for D2C sellers specifically. So just come get a hold of me or something like that. I can give you the link. It gives you a bunch of goodies. And what do I get out of it? I don't know, just like niceness. Hopefully they'll invite me to more events at TikTok. Okay, so let's just talk about this specific area first, right? The future is creator powered. And I've been talking about this, but I want to try to articulate it even more because I think that any brand out there right now needs to understand. Creators are at the center of the strategy that I see moving forward. It does not matter what channel it is, right? And, I love to talk about TikTok Shop, but I use TikTok Shop as a means to an end to be getting content, right? When we look at some of the different, strategies out there, so specifically in media buying, right? If we're looking at this sort of strategy, and it's funny because actually right after this, I'm on with Charlie T, and Charlie T would completely disagree with this. But that's fine. It's great to have like lots of different voices in there. But if we are looking at some kind of a cost cap scenario, right? What we need is a ton of content, right? If we're doing cost caps on a meta, which I think a lot of you guys are doing, we need a ton of content. Even if you're running like this one CBO sort of strategy, or just a really simple Advantage Plus strategy, what you need is more and more content, right? I truly, truly believe that is like, let the algorithm do its thing, which is really interesting. Again, we did a GMV Max webinar 3 weeks ago. If you guys did not get a chance to watch that, go onto YouTube, and I actually put that one on YouTube because I really thought it was that powerful. So go check out why, first of all, basically probably all of you that are on here are going to be moved to GMV Max. Most likely you were July 15th. Some of you guys have a little bit longer to go. But at the end of the day, it's the content. So a brand that we're working with, we're running some numbers, and they're getting about 10,000 pieces of content a month, right? We're then able to, using Refunnel. So again, if you guys have ever worked with our agency before, Refunnel is one of those tools that we require that people use. The reason why is that Refunnel is able to gather all of these different mentions that you have, and then right within the platform actually ask for the ability to use it on different platforms. Now, what we do at the agency, and sorry, I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I want to make sure that you guys understand sort of what we do at the agency. So instead of asking after somebody has posted content, actually instead what we're doing is we're actually trying to get that content and get the rights to that content first. So we get the rights to that content before they what we're trying to do is we're trying to get them to tick a box saying, yes, you can use my content across other channels. Now, I think that there's some really interesting things. And again, it's not a big pitch for Refunnel. You can tell Atif that you heard about him from me, just so he knows, oh, Jordan's good. But the reason why I think that this is so interesting is that once you actually get the ability to use that content, you can still actually pay your affiliates out on a small percentage of the revenue that they generate on other platforms. And I think that's where we're able to take this creator-centric approach across different platforms. Now, there's some really interesting studies out there right now that Meta has released on whitelisting specifically. Now, whitelisting, for those of you guys who don't know, is essentially running ads through somebody else's platform. So through somebody else's page. So, back in the day, we used to do advertising for our marketing agency. And I had a whitelisted page. It was Jordan West, CEO of, at that time, Zuckerberg Commerce. And we would have that running. And that is technically a whitelisted ad. Now, using any of these creators, you can then whitelist their ads using their specific handles. And I think that's where people aren't quite understanding the power of whitelisting. So they'll take the ads and then they'll run it on the brand handle. It's really interesting, the difference that Meta has seen, up to a 40% decrease in CPA, which is just wild, just to use whitelisted ads. And so I think that's a really, really big deal, and something that I want everybody to understand, that this is the reason why I'm so obsessed with getting all of this content. Now, what we do at first, let's see if I've got this in part of my slide here. Yeah, we'll keep it on this slide for this. Way to keep me on track, slides. So the idea, right, is that when you are inviting somebody to work with you, the very first question that you want to ask, you want to begin with the end in mind, right? Again, I'm a big 7 habits guy. Begin with the end in mind. I think it's habit 5. Maybe it's habit 2. I don't know. It's one of those habits. But anyway, when you begin with the end in mind, at the end of the day, what you want out of your creators is for them to be a bigger part of your brand. You don't want a one and done, right? So our goal at Social Commerce Club is to get 5 pieces of content from every sample that we send out. But even more, in the way that we do that is we get them into a creator community. So building a creator community is really, really simple. but it is going to take a lot of work on your side, but it's super simple. Choose a platform. So right now, to me, WhatsApp or Discord, right, are the two platforms that I would recommend. Besides WhatsApp and Discord, there's some other ones out there. Circle is another good example. School, you could use School if you want. I don't find School really great for messaging on that sort of level or on that kind of like high level. You could use Slack if you want to, but again, most creators aren't really on Slack. So WhatsApp for us has been great. I think that there's like a 1,200 person limit per group. So just be aware of that. But again, these are the creators that you're trying to get in that you want to continually work with. So begin with the end in mind. Any of these creators that you're going to work with, you're trying to get into your group. And that's the really big thing here, right? You're trying to get them off platform and to talk to them on WhatsApp. Give me one second, guys. So you're trying to get them off platform so that you can run contests, so that you can do specific messaging to them there, so that you can get them really, really hyped about their brand. If you guys haven't listened, there's a really great interview, and I wish I had been the one to do this interview, with the founder of NeuroGum. And he talked about how he specifically will go in there and they'll do like, I think their onboarding is something like 2 or 3 hours. It's crazy that these affiliates have to go through. Most brands do not do that, right? They're just sending products out, hoping and praying. That is not the way to do it. The way to do it, and again, part of building this muscle, we think about like the bicep here, is specifically working these creators and helping them feel a big part of the brand and not just chucking the samples out there, because you're going to waste your samples and again, it's not like samples are free, right? A lot of you guys out there, if you have like 70% margins, it's still a lot of money that you're putting out there. And, do I think that mass sampling is great? Absolutely. But only when you have a plan, right? So that's the really, really big thing that I want to get across here. Again, guys, if you have any questions, throw them in the side here and I will answer anything that you guys have going through. But that's the really big thing that I want to get across here. I've got a good question here and I'm going to spotlight it. All right. How do you get creators on your side? Is it finding ones who sell a competitor's product or offer a better commission? Yes. So this is really when it comes down to sales. And I used to say like TikTok Shop is such a sales opportunity and it's so good for people that are really good in sales because you need to understand what motivates them. So sometimes that will be a better commission. Sometimes it'll be a better product that can actually sell better. And so go back, if there's any Amazon people on here, right? And one of the classic sort of Amazon things is like, look at your competitors' reviews, look at what people wish that, look at the 2, 3, and 4 star reviews and say like, oh, this is amazing, but only if it had this, right? The same thing applies for how you're trying to get creators onto your side, James. So really at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is get creators you're trying to get them to buy into your brand ethos. Now, creators, and we have, again, I think, the thousands of creators now at Social Commerce Club, who at the end of the day are not loyal to brands, right? What they are loyal to is people that they can make money with. And so they will work with competitors all day long. Again, remember, these are not influencers. They're not trying to maintain any sort of credibility. That just doesn't matter to them in the same way that it matters for them to make money. So if you can show them an opportunity to make money, then that's great. A higher commission on a product that isn't selling isn't going to work, which is why the Blitz methodology is so good. So I'm going to go over the Blitz methodology here quick. I've been talking about it a lot, but just because I've been talking about it a lot doesn't mean that you guys know exactly what this strategy is. So let's go into the Blitz methodology here for one sec. Yeah, perfect. All right. So here is the methodology, just so everybody understands. And I think that this is a really important thing to note, how this Blitz strategy works. All right. So yes, April, I'm going to send out a replay, just so you know. We'll make sure that we have a private one on YouTube that everyone can see here. So let's talk quickly about the Blitz strategy, because I think that this is really at the core of why this works so well as a flywheel. So as you are doing your seeding out to your initial influencers in your Blitz strategy, right? So the whole idea is that you are seeding out to your, I call them influencers. You're seeding out to creators. When you seed out to the creators, you're telling them, we're going to Blitz launch on this specific date. Do not post content before that. Get your content ready for that time. And I think that that's really, really important. right, is making sure that you let them know, hey, here's the date that we're going to be doing it, right? So you're going to seed out to them. Now, here's how you build a creator community from day one is as you're seeding out to them, tell them, hey, we're doing this Blitz methodology. And for that, we're going to need to communicate and coordinate some communication. If you want to be a part of this, join the WhatsApp group. Once you have confirmed that they have joined your WhatsApp group or your Discord, again, the reason why I like WhatsApp over Discord is like WhatsApp comes in as a text message. Discord, there's just so many Discord groups. Again, I really like kind of going where people aren't, right? And everyone's on Discord right now. And I think that's why I really like going to WhatsApp. So let them know, hey, to be a part of this Blitz launch, you need to join our WhatsApp group. And then once we've confirmed that, then we'll seed out to you. Right. And so offer like a really good organic commission at the beginning. I would recommend like as high, if you can do as high as 40 for the Blitz launch. Awesome. Let them know, hey, we're all going to be doing this coordinated effort on that day. The goal is for us to all go viral sort of at the same time. Right. And that's what you're letting them know so that they can get on board with it. When you detonate, right, during the Blitz launch, that is the really big time when you're essentially going to put as much ad spend behind as possible. We tell our clients at Social Commerce Club when we do a Blitz launch, like minimum, I think it's like minimum 12 to 15 grand that we're spending during that time. So it's a really big deal. It's like a lot of money that people are spending during that time, but that is what gets people on board. So that's the easiest way to get people into your WhatsApp group at the beginning. You can easily get your first 100 just like that. And if they're not willing to come into that WhatsApp group, then don't have them part of the launch, right? Because otherwise you can't really coordinate the launch super well. Now with GMV Max, it makes everything really, really easy. Just a quick review on GMV Max. If they have, and again, about 50% of creators have automatic authorization set up. So their content will just automatically go into a GMV Max campaign. So that's sort of how that works. If they do not, then you need to go and gather those Spark codes. Use a tool like Reacher. Reacher, again, is my biggest recommendation for you guys to use. They're just building like some crazy stuff right now. I've been advising them for about a year now. And they are doing just a great job of all of this sort of stuff. They have a tool that helps you just gather up these Spark codes, put the Spark codes into your GMV Max campaign. Again, go back on YouTube and watch the GMV Max campaign. Kasim, Reacher is the tool that is similar to like a Yuka. I just think that they're building even more. So. All right. I'm just going to answer a few questions because I got a bunch of questions here. James, I'm going to come back to your question here. Should you be DMing creators to get their attention and explain how you're better and talk commission, use a CRM to track who you've contacted to see? Yeah, exactly. So you could do a lot of that through Reacher as well, which is really, really great. I definitely would try to get them. So the number one thing is to get them off platform first, right? The more that you're talking to them on TikTok, the less likely that they're going to stay with you as you're messaging with them. So trying to get them off the platform is super, super important. So that's just a really, really important thing. Any of the messaging that you're even going to be able to do has to be off platform in my mind. Just because their inboxes are like absolutely loaded. I remember doing my very first accelerator with brands, and we were talking through with brands and agencies. And I remember talking through with one of our top creators who actually works for our agency now. She is awesome, Anna Casey. And she was telling us how she has between 300 and 500 emails in her inbox every single day from brands. Like, think about that. It's just wild. There's just no possible way. So you need to get people off the platform and talk to them over there. So hopefully that helps. And then again, Reacher can do that. I'm trying to think of other CRMs that might be able to help you with that. We run everything through Airtable at Social Commerce Club. So that's the way that we use our CRM, and we kind of tag different people using Airtable and all that kind of stuff. So guys, am I back? I am back. Sorry, everyone. Oh my gosh. I do not have the questions from before. Thank you. It looks like everyone basically stayed on. Super, super appreciate it. Oh man, I got to get this situation dealt with here. Okay, let's keep going. Thanks for sticking on, everyone. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's go back to some of the questions there. I actually do not have, I cannot see the previous question. So if you still have a question that you want me to answer, let me know on the side here. I think that's, I want to make sure to go through your questions. You guys had a bunch. So thanks so much for bearing with me here. Yeah, exactly. Upgraded the house, but definitely downgraded the Wi-Fi. I'm also in a city that's like quite a bit smaller, so that's one big thing there. So again, when I think about, let me just talk talk this out here for 1 second. So when I think about what I am obsessed with going forward with Social Commerce Club, with any of the brands that we're potentially looking at investing in, and brands that I am like personally consulting, what I am looking at right now is how we make these creators, right? So using this Blitz strategy across all platforms, because that's the really cool thing is now we can take these people that are on TikTok. Now, lots of them don't necessarily have big followings at other places. I don't care nearly as much. What I'm looking for is this coordinated launch that we can then put ads behind. Because at the end of the day, you need to be running ads if you're going to grow, right? Like that's kind of the only way that you're able to grow beyond, now there's a lot of brands that make it to 2 to 3 million without running ads, and that's great. There's just no way to go beyond that, right? At the end of the day. And so what we're really trying to look at here is how do we then take this content, right, that we're getting from these Blitz launches? And I highly recommend, this is another question that people are asking me all the time, is how do you take the Blitz launch, right, and that content, and how often are you doing one of these Blitz launches? Now, my recommendation is to try to do a Blitz at least once every 2 months, right? So if you have a new colorway, if you have a new product that you want to test out, this is the way to go and test these products out, or even just re-blitz, right? So there's been some brands that we worked with that just haven't been able to get traction. We're re-blitzing with them and we're seeing really, really good results. And so this Blitz methodology, and again, if you guys want to like deep dive into it, I'm posting all about it on YouTube. I'm really trying to like go through and like methodically talk about this. Do you guys still have me there? Looks like well, it happened again. I'm assuming that my internet is going to cut out again, and I am so sorry, guys. So I can't believe 20 of you guys are still on here. So thank you. I am assuming that I'm going to cut out again. And so what I would like, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Specific questions. Feel free to reach out to me either on School. I think a lot of you guys from here are on School. Or if you guys want to reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn, DM me, and I will send you, here's what I'm going to promise to do. If you guys send me a question, I will send you guys a Loom. I'm really sorry about the internet issues here. I'm going to have those taken care of for our next chat. So if you guys are, still having some questions unanswered, I think the big thing that I want everyone to get away with from today. Oh no, I'm sorry that this is happening. I have very good internet, I thought, but it's just, it's being weird. Well, obviously I don't have good internet. What I want you guys to understand from today is that at the end of the day, the golden goose of all of this is the creators, right? And so if you remember to keep the creators at the middle, and all of the things that you're trying to do are for the creators, right? The better that you treat the creators, the better, like treat them like your customers. At the end of the day, I think that's the really big thing. Before I go, guys, I will answer if there's any other questions on the side here. I have not been able to see any of the questions since I hop back in. I can't see. So feel free to let me know if there's any other questions here before I jump off. Can TikTok Shop and this strategy work for digital products / apps? It cannot on TikTok Shop. This strategy, though, is at the end of the day is really like a principal sort of strategy. I'll actually let you guys in on a little strategy that we used to use at one of our clothing companies. So we called this the gated launch. And so very similar to the Blitz methodology, where what we would do is we'd actually password protect our website, and we would give our VIPs all the password because we would sell out often, right? And so we would give them the password that they would then be able to enter the website. We did 250K in one day using that strategy. Now, again, I'm not telling you guys are going to be able to do that, but it's an incredible strategy. Really, at the end of the day, when I'm thinking about all of this kind of stuff, what I'm thinking about is marketing principles, right? How do we get people to actually pull the trigger when they want to, right? And so discounting is one of those ways that you can do that. I think that is like the lowest form of trying to get people to do that. I think that creating FOMO is a great way to be able to do that. And so at the end of the day, if you can create FOMO for your customers, right? But not only that, treat your creators like your customers, right? At the end of the day, they are going to be the ones that are going to help you generate revenue more than anything. And so if you can help them understand that, that's going to be a huge part of all of this. So that's sort of my thoughts on there. Rob, yeah, unfortunately, there's digital products and stuff it's not working for quite yet. I don't know if TikTok Shop is ever going to go into digital products. Any other questions before we go today, guys? And thanks again so much for everyone bearing with me on this. This will just be a great YouTube video for us to send out. Guys, essentially every single time that there was a weird cutout, just my internet went out. So let me know if anyone else has any other questions that I have not answered in the chat. And then I think we'll call it there for today, just with the internet issues. Thanks again, everyone, for showing up. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I was, I'm usually used to a little bit better performance, but we'll call it there. I super appreciate all you guys. For all you guys in school, I'm going to make sure to put this on there first as well. And let me know if there are any other big questions in there. Really appreciate you all, and we'll talk later. Bye.